Hey guys, it's Bailey. Welcome back to the channel and thanks for tuning in to what is going to be, it's a game changer. I don't think I've ever led a video with that, but this I feel strongly about. Now I was scrolling through Facebook a while back and I came across an ad for a magnetic eyeliner, and it was naturally very attention grabbing because it was one of those ads where it's like purposefully bad, like comically bad. One of those old infomercials where all of the situations are exaggerated and you're like, no one applies their lashes like that. Like, are you sick of your lame old eyelashes? Do you feel personally victimized by your lash glue? Stop letting traditional lashes ruin your life. You know what I'm saying, like one of those. Naturally, it caught my attention and I was scrolling through a website. The brand is MoxieLash, and they were talking mostly about the lashes, and they took you to a page, at least on the ad that I found, where it's both a lash and the liner combined. So it was kind of tricky to find just the liner itself, but once I did, I knew that's really what I really wanted to get because I already have a pair of magnetic lashes that I like. So this is just going to be a review of the magnetic liner itself, which is not inexpensive. I think it was $32 for they don't even have the amount of product on here, and it just came in like a little bubble wrapped envelope. And there was also a card in there, like a thank you for your purchase, here's 10% off your next, and I cannot find the card for the life of me, so I'm gonna look online to see if I can find that code. It's something very generic like Moxie 10 or something. But if you can save a little bit of cash, if this appeals to you and you want to save a little bit, definitely do, because I did think, and I still kind of do think, $32 is a little steep for this tiny jar of eyeliner. That said, I still do think this is a game changer for wearing false lashes. So it's basically like your average black gel eyeliner. It just has iron mixed in with it to make it magnetic. If you go on the site, they have a frequently asked questions section, which I checked out because hearing iron mixed in with your eyeliner, you know, it's not an everyday kind of thing, but they say it's been tested and approved for the eye area, so you're not running the risk of like getting an iron shaving in your eye by using this. It is on the thicker, drier side of eyeliners, so I think you'll be able to see this in application, but it does sometimes skip a little bit when I go to apply. It can be built up to be very, very pigmented, and once it dries down, it stays opaque. But sometimes you can notice a little bit of skipping and a little bit of thinness in the color payoff there, so it just takes a little bit of layering up. Once it's dry, and I typically wait like a minute to a minute 30, I just do the liner and then I do something else like my mascara and maybe I'll save my blush and bronzer or something like that. But after about a minute and a half, it is totally dry. I know that because there isn't a whole lot of transfer of the liner onto the actual magnets on my lashes. So it dries down fully to be transfer proof, and then you literally just pop your lashes on top of the liner. It's that easy. You can feel the liner, like the attraction between the magnets and your liner, a little bit. It's not as strong and it doesn't snap to nearly as firmly as, say, if you were using both of these, like the top and the bottom of the magnetic lashes, but you still do feel a little bit of a pull, and you know, like you can feel when they are set in place. Like you can see when they're kind of askew, if they're not quite meeting your lash line, so you know to adjust and make it sure it's a firm hold. And then once they're on, they're on. It was pretty windy yesterday, so I was like walking Dallas outside, obviously outside, and like I said, it's windy, so I was honestly a little nervous about like a lash flying away, but nothing happened. I mean, they still stayed firmly in place. You can maybe go to a rave, I don't know, you'll hurt your neck sooner than a lash will fly off. I think the one thing that might kind of jeopardize the security of your lashes is if something like your hair gets caught in your lashes on a windy day and then blows it away, like that might be strong enough to remove them. But for the most part, once they are on, have not had any issues with them falling off, blowing away, becoming dislodged, looking disheveled, anything like that. Like they're pretty secure on. So each time I've worn these, it's been between like 6 and 8 hours. So a good amount of time to understand like how it wears both with shadow, worn alone, worn with primer, worn without primer, all the different kind of permutations and ways you could wear this liner I've tried, and for a good amount of time. And the liner and the hold of the liner stood up really well for the most part throughout the day. The only exception was when I didn't wear an eyeshadow primer, and you'll actually see in the demo of both me putting it on and then when I show you at the end of the day, That is my eye without having applied primer before putting the liner on, and it's surprisingly intact. Like on one of my eyes, it was particularly itchy that day just because it's, you know, dry out, allergies, things like that. So I was itching at my liner, which made it flake off a little bit, but that's naturally, like, having no liner there is going to make it not magnetic, and there wasn't a whole lot missing given that it was the end of the day. Like, I didn't think my lashes looked ridiculous at the end of the day. They were still very much in place, and to the extent that that happens, you can always just slightly reposition your lash. If just like a little bit has smudged away, just reposition it slightly, because it's really easy to reposition these, and just move them around a little bit so they're adhering to a different part of your liner. And like I said, that is only if you haven't primed your eyes. Every other time that I've worn this, it stayed in place really, really nicely, specifically at the base of the lashes. I wouldn't say it's super waterproof though. Like, I did try and wing it out one day, and I was having an especially watery eye moment or watery eye day, and so I found myself, you know, doing this, trying to clear out the moisture from my eyes, and that definitely, I saw like a wear pattern along my wing. You know how you can kind of see that? So I wouldn't say it's like the strongest for a wing. You might want to apply a liquid first and then go in with this magnetic over top right at the base of your lashes if you're going to use magnetic liner. But besides that, I mean, it does the job at holding on to your magnetic lashes really well. So long story short, bottom line is that this is definitely going to become a mainstay in my everyday makeup routine. I was kind of considering, like, you can't get away with a super thin line. Like, I do feel like you have to wear noticeable eyeliner, and so if you're not an eyeliner kind of person, like, personally, I've been all about shadow and leaving my upper lash line bare, just lining my waterline. And if you find that's for you and you don't like the look of a deep black liner, you feel it's too harsh for you, it's just not, you know, your look, then this might not be for you. I would just stick to something like a regular magnetic lash with a super thin band like these, because you can wear them easily without bulking up your lash line. But even as someone who hasn't really been into the look of liner, I find I can still keep this thin enough to where it holds on strongly, yeah, to my lashes, but doesn't look like I'm wearing super thick black eyeliner. The only other thing to consider, or at least that I am now considering, is a thicker lash. What I didn't appreciate is because you have a top and a bottom lash with those Ardell magnetic accents, you get a lot of fullness out of your lashes. And now that I only have to wear one, I'm feeling like I could use a little bit more drama on my outer lash line. So I will probably look for another different style or two to kind of experiment with this liner, but overall, very happy with it and super pleased with how fast it is. I mean, like, how fast can I do this? If I were to take it off right now, like there, and then just put it back on, I mean, done. That was, like, you cannot do that with a normal lash. I love this. So that is it. That's my obsession, and that's my review of the MoxieLash Magnetic Eyeliner. I hope this was helpful. If you were curious, if you yourself had seen the ad floating around out there, now you know. Thank you guys so much for watching. Please don't forget to subscribe if you haven't already, and I will catch you in the next video. Bye, guys.